Welcome back to episode 3 of this messy, century-long Europe drama. We're picking up in 1337 when the Hundred Years' War got spicy. It didn't end with a bang, but with King Philip VI of France swiping Aquitaine like it was a limited edition drop. England's Edward III, grandson of Philip IV and certified petty king, snapped back by claiming he should be the king of France. Boom, war unlocked. The first arc, the Edwardian War from 1337 to 1360, was England in full send mode, while France's chivalry era tripped on its shoelaces. By 1340, England clapped France's fleet at the Battle of Calais and locked down the channel like it was a private pool. Then came chaos. Raids in Gascony, back alley warfare in Brittany, and Flanders gasping for economic air. But the game changer came in 1346 when Edward III landed in Normandy and went full scorched earth, burning towns, sacking cities, and giving Paris a heart attack mode. France got so panicked they begged for a showdown. August 26, 1346, the Battle of Crécy. French knights rolled in flexing armor, thinking they would curb-stomp some English peasants. But Edward's archers had that dog in them. The longbows tore through the French like cheat codes. France lost hard, and the whole noble knight supremacy fantasy got left on red. Medieval warfare really did level up. If you're new here, welcome to Corona's History, where we break down the greatest moments in history and turn them into greater stories. Whether you're bored, learning, or somewhere in between, we've got something cooked up for you to keep you entertained. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. England came out of Crécy feeling invincible. Edward's squad, archers, chill knights, and good vibes had absolutely crushed it. They marched straight to Calais, laid siege for a year, and took the city, which became England's French base camp for the next 200 years. Edward and his son, the Black Prince, became medieval war influencers. Allies showed up, the Scots backed off, and ransoms from captured French nobles rained gold. 300k acres, baby. But England got a little too cocky with its invincible strat, and that overconfidence would bite back later. Meanwhile, France was straight up spiraling. Crécy wasn't just a loss, it was an identity crisis. 1,500 knights gone, 11 princes deleted, and Philip VI dipped mid-battle. People were not vibing with him anymore. Taxes triggered riots, the economy collapsed, and to pay ransoms, they started robbing Jewish communities and bankers. But this mess forced France to get its act together. By the 1350s, Charles V started building a real army, cleaned up leadership, and prepped the artillery. Painful but a necessary glow-up. Crécy was that before and after moment for both kingdoms. England got short-term power but trapped itself in forever war mode. France got wrecked, but from the ashes came their actual war era. Jean Froissart said it best: Crécy didn't end the war. It actually just changed the game. While all this mess was going down, the Black Death pulled up in 1346 like, you all forgot about me? Bubonic plague started sweeping through Europe, clapping soldiers, peasants, and nobles with absolutely zero mercy. Just after Crécy, the plague rolled into the armies and said, you guys gotta wrap it up. Casualties weren't just from swords, now it was coughs and boils. Both sides had to slow the roll. Nobody could recruit, fund battles, or even feed the troops properly. Villages got ghosted. The war really hit the pause button, not out of mercy, but because everyone was just too busy dying. Major fighting wouldn't pick up until 1356. That monk from Dijon summed it up the best. God stopped with the sword of plague what men's swords could not. Boom. Medieval mic drop. Right after Crécy, Edward III was like, Paris? Nah, I want that beach town. So he turned toward Calais, the port city prize. He rolled up with 10 to 15k troops and built a whole mini-city, Villeneuve, just to cut off supplies. No storming, just waiting it out like a true villain. Calais held out under Jean de Vienne, but it got grim. By winter, people were eating rats and shoelaces. de Vienne tried booting women, kids, and old folks out of the city, but Edward said no, and left them to starve outside. Finally, after 11 months, Calais fell. Edward wanted revenge executions, but Queen Philippa was like, "Please, babe, don't do it." She begged him to spare 6 key citizens, and he reluctantly agreed. Calais was now English turf, and France was really feeling the burn. Philip VI died in 1350, and his son, John II, aka John the Good, took over. Spoiler, he wasn't really that good. The country was already toast. Plague, losses, financial ruin, and John decided to roleplay as a chivalric hero while everything burned. He surrounded himself with cloud-chasing nobles, raised taxes, and made everyone mad. Then in 1356, he pulled a dumb move, challenged the English at Poitiers. And guess what? Another L. He got captured by the Black Prince and carted off like a prize. France descended into absolute chaos. Uprisings kicked off. Shout out to the Jacquerie in 1358. And John's son Charles had to clean up the mess. John came back in 1360 under the Treaty of Brittany, but never recovered. He died in 1364, leaving France hanging by a thread. Between Crécy and Poitiers, France had a weird fake peace era. John II tried some king stuff, founded the Order of the Stars, reformed taxes, tried flexing royal power, but none of it landed. The country was still broke, the nobles were mad, and the war was just waiting to restart. The quiet didn't last. Poitiers was just around the corner, and France was about to eat dirt again. France was already in the gutter post-Crécy, but then, boom, enter Charles the Bad, King of Navarre. Bro wasn't just sus by name, he had royal blood and Norman land, so he was basically built to stir drama. When he allegedly murked Charles de la Cerda in 1354, the French elite exploded. Nobles started sliding into Edward III's DMs, and the kingdom turned into a medieval Twitter beef. Meanwhile, France's economy was on absolute life support. The plague had nerfed half the population and shattered what was left of the job market. England, on the other hand, was bench-pressing troops at Calais. Edward III was prepping for round 2. And he dropped his son, Edward the Black Prince, into Gascony like a Fortnite skin pack. France couldn't get it together politically, diplomatically, or emotionally. England, meanwhile, was just waiting to drop the hammer. Fall 1355. Black Prince logs in with 5 to 6k troops, mostly archers and light cavalry, and hits the gas from Bordeaux. The goal? Absolute destruction. This man went full war criminal simulator across southern France, burning crops, torching villages, smashing mills, and making cows cry. Towns like Montauban and Carcassonne either paid up or got steamrolled. Toulouse tried to vibe from the sidelines, but even they saw the smoke. The French army just refused to show. Peak not my problem energy. The English even hit the Mediterranean and gave their horses a beach day at Narbonne. Then they trotted back to Bordeaux with loot carts stacked like a Costco run. The whole region was wrecked, and France looked like it couldn't protect a baguette, let alone a kingdom. September 19, 1356, the French try to get their get back. King John II pulls up with 15 to 20k troops versus the Black Prince's 6 to 7k. Easy win, right? Wrong. Black Prince sets up shop on high ground with vineyards and swamps like Minecraft terrain defense. French cavalry charges in like it's 1346 again and gets deleted by longbows. Instead of adapting, they send in waves of troops, one by one. Actual NPC behavior. John II even tried a heroic last stand charge and got captured, along with his son Philip. France was now leaderless, hopeless, and in full collapse mode. GG's. With the king locked up in England, baby Dauphin Charles had to adult real fast. He was 18, confused, and surrounded by revolts. Paris popped off in 1357 to 1358, when Etienne Marcel tried to turn the city into a medieval startup republic. The Estates General got cocky, a mob killed some royal marshals, and the palace was out here looking like a crime scene. Then came the Jacquerie, Peasants' Revolt, 1358. absolute carnage. Angry farmers lost it, torching castles, dragging nobles, yelling "Eat the rich" before it was trendy. Charles of Navarre clapped back hard, filling castle moats with dead peasants like it was a warning sign. While the kingdom was burning, France tried to pull off a peace deal. In 1358, John II agreed to the London Treaty, offering basically half of France to England. Everyone said nah, so it got patched into the Treaty of Brittany in 1360. Still awful, but just slightly less give them the keys to Paris. May 8, 1360, Treaty of Brittany drops. England gets full sovereignty over a third of France. Aquitaine, Gascony, Poitiers, all that. Oh, and France also owes them 12 tons of gold in ransom for King John II. Absolute robbery. To keep it legit, 40 noble hostages got handed over as collateral. One of them bailed, however, in 1363, and King John, in full chivalric corps mode, voluntarily went back to English captivity. The man died there. Massive L. But plot twist, the sheer humiliation gave France the reset it needed. Charles V came through with reforms, hired crack commanders like Bertrand du Guesclin, and switched tactics. No more dumb night charges. Now it was guerrilla vibes, slow and steady comeback mode. When war picked back up in 1369, France was finally playing smart. Brittany might have looked like England's W, but it marked the start of France's glow-up arc. And that was video 3 in our brain cell crushing 100 Years War saga. France is still on fire. England thinks they're on top. And the clown show isn't just over yet. So smash that follow button, hit that like, comment whether or not you would be able to charge headfirst at the English longbowmen, and prepare for even more unhinged history. See you again on Chronos History.